Hello, thank you for checking out A1 Math, and today we're looking at comparing properties of linear functions. And in this particular example, we're comparing uh, a expression of a linear function in words to a graph. So let's get started. So we have two functions. We have f of x and g of x. And what we want to do is compare the domain, range, slopes, and the y-intercepts of each. So what I'm going to do is make a table. And on one side of the table, I have f of x. On the other side, I have g of x. And what I want to do is write the rule. I want to write the domain, the range, the slope, and the y-intercept of each one. And then compare them. And I'm going to start with f of x. Well, the f of x, it says the function of f of x has a slope of 6 and a y-intercept of 20. So to write a rule, what you're really doing is writing a linear equation. Okay, so we're going to write that linear equation with that information using y equals mx plus b. But instead of using the y, we're going to use f of x so we don't confuse it with g of x. So I'm going to start that off with f of x, and that's going to be equal to my slope, which is 6, my y-intercept times x plus my y-intercept, which is 20. All right, now, since there's no indications of the domain and range, both of those are going to be all real numbers. There's nothing to tell me there's a beginning and an ending to it. And so for that one, for this one up here, f of x, it's all real numbers. Now I'm going to go ahead and write my slope, which once you have the equation or the rule written out, you can pick it out real easily. Your slope is 6 and your y-intercept is 20. And that's f of x. Now, separate from f of x, we're going to do g of x, which is this graph. And we're going to go ahead and find the rule, domain and range, slope, and the y-intercept of those. So on this one, what we want to do is you want to write the rule, but we don't know some of the information, the slope and the y-intercept and everything. So let's go ahead and solve that. So I'm going to change the colors on this one here. Just to find the slope. So I've got my graph here, and I got 2 points on here, and I've got my y, my x and y, and my x and y for these 2 points. So I'm going to plug that into my formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right. Now, I'm going to do my second y, which is 12, minus my first y, which is negative 8. Divide that by my first x, which is, or second x, which is 4, minus 0. All right. So this is going to add. All right, so this is going to add, it's going to give me 20 over 4, which is equal to 5. So my slope is 5. And my y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. So it crosses at negative 8, and x is 0 at negative 8. When x is 0, y is negative 8. So that's my y-intercept there. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Now I can write my equation. I've got g of x. Let me go back to my other color here. G of x is equal to 5 x and my y-intercept, which is negative 8, so minus 8. So that's the rule. Now, because I have arrows here on my graph, then it's going to go on forever. So that's also going to be all real numbers for both of those. So it's gonna go on from the left to the right forever, and it's gonna go up and down forever. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and write my slope, which is 5, and my y-intercept, -8. Okay, now that I got them both written out, I can compare them. I can say, all right, cool. Both of the domains and range are the same. The slope for f of x is bigger than the slope of 5. I'm sorry, slope of g of x. And the initial spot, the beginning here, is bigger for the y-intercept than um, I'm sorry, the y-intercept is bigger for f of x than it is for g of x. So that's comparing two linear equations. Okay, go ahead, pause the video here and take a look and see if you can solve this particular problem. All right, go ahead and check your answer. You should have something similar to this. Okay, and I want to thank you for checking out A1 Math. That was comparing properties of linear functions from an expression to a graph. Thank you for checking out A1 Math and have a nice day.